Next up, I also really want to briefly mention, because Bruce Purkey has this movie covered towards the back end of this episode. It's a movie called Jazzy. Quote, in the follow-up to filmmaker Marissa Maltz's award-winning film, The Unknown Country, Film Independent Spirit Awards nominee Jazzy is a portrait of Jasmine Shangreaux, a young Oglala Lakota girl growing up in Spearfish, South Dakota. This young girl, Jasmine, she has a best friend. She's called Jasmine, but she's called Jazzy. Jazzy's best friend is Soraya. And the sad thing is Soraya is moving to a new town. And it sort of focuses on their friendship when they started at 6, all the way to their friendship when they were 12. So it's sort of like Boyhood, meaning how Boyhood captured a bunch of years. This movie captures 6 years in Jasmine's life and her relationship with Soraya. And the way director Marissa Maltz shoots this documentary, which feels like actually just more of a movie than a documentary, so it's sort of a hybrid. The way she shoots this is the narrative is non-linear. So in one moment, you'll see Jazzy and Soraya speaking or hanging out like they're 12, but then it'll flash back to when they were 6 or 7 or 8. And it's a really immersive look at what it means to be a child and the beauty and the joy and the heartache of being a kid. And it's really wistful and not overly sentimental, but it's really ultimately very resonant. You get to realize, like a lot of friends, I'm sure, Eric, you had a lot of friends growing up. Some friends stay with you for a while, and sometimes you have a falling out, and it's really tough when your friends aren't that close with you anymore when they were close with you when you were 6 or 7. Those kind of emotions are played throughout Jazzy, and you get to learn a little bit more about the fellow students that Jazzy and Soraya get to know. There's one kid, he's been there for a while, and he ends up having a crush on Jazzy, and it's great to follow his story as well. So there's little kid stories amidst the main kid relationship between Jazzy and Soraya. The bad thing about this is what, Eric?
Oh, I was going to say, this sounds incredibly basic. How does this compare to something like Son of Rambo or like Millions or something like that?
No, this is great. It sounds basic, but it's just really the ambition of shooting a movie. It's essentially a documentary that's shot over 6 years. So I'm assuming
Oh,
Marissa
so it's
Maltz.
the basically you're watching this for the gimmick then?
Yeah, it is a gimmick, just like Boyhood was a gimmick. Well, Boyhood was a huge gimmick. I mean, what is it? Shot over how many years? But this one was only shot over 6 years. It captures 6 years in the life of Jazzy and Soraya. Jasmine Shangreaux is also a co-star in Marissa Maltz's previous film, The Unknown Country. And after watching Jazzy, I really want to watch The Unknown Country. And what's interesting about this movie is it also stars, I'm blanking on the name, Killers of the Flower Moon. Did you ever see that movie? Do
Yeah.
you remember? Yeah,
All 12 days of it.
all 12 days. Did you like that movie, by the way?
I probably have to watch it again because, like, I remember the first time I watched Gangs in New York, it was long and it just didn't impress me. And then I went back and watched it again and thought, oh no, I was wrong. This is pretty good. But
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon, it was good, but like,
Overrated, maybe?
well, that's just it. I didn't, I wasn't excited to go back, but who knows? Maybe if I watch it again, I'll be a little more excited about it. But yeah, it was fun.
All right. So what's interesting about this movie about Jazzy is it's executive produced by Lily Gladstone. Lily Gladstone is in the aforementioned movie Killers of the Killers of the Flower Moon, and she received an Oscar nomination for that movie. She's the lead in The Unknown Country, which is directed by Jazzy filmmaker Marissa Maltz. And again, Jazzy is also in The Unknown Country. So after watching Jazzy, I really want to see Jasmine's performance in The Unknown Country, and I want to see Lily Gladstone in The Unknown Country as well. But Jazzy as a film itself, it's a beautiful movie, resonant, and fun to watch because you get to see kids at play, kids disagreeing, and kids growing up. So it does sound basic, but it's
You're totally
ultimately
selling me on this.
what?
You're totally selling me on this.
It's yeah, it right. No, it sounds basic, but it's really well done. And you get to learn a little bit more about their culture and just that whole area of Spearfish, South Dakota. It's interesting to get yourself immersed into a part of the world that maybe you had no idea about. Jazzy is in theaters on February 7th. My rating for this movie is 4 stars. 4 stars for Jazzy.